Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a look again on the cryptocurrencies as usual on Mondays. So based on the picture that we have on the Bitcoin market hasn't shown any more or less positive reaction on the second attempt to set the file for ETF registration from the major companies such as BlackRock and so on. So you probably heard this news that they refilled the files for registration, and Securities and Exchange Commission has accepted them. So it's probably process stands underway, but this is long time process, as we have mentioned in our recent fundamental report on the Bitcoin. Securities and Exchange Commission has at least 240 days to consider any file for registration of the ETF. And you can see actually even that the SEC has taken into consideration these files. We do not see any positive reaction on the Bitcoin market. So that's the reason actually why we do not see any reasons currently to change our short-term bearish view. We still suggest that it might be downside action, deeper retracement. So on the weekly chart, situation looks a bit, well, I would say a bit shocking, but take a look. We talked about the two grabbers. This is bullish grabber, but it stands at the eve of the possible failure. It's just because if market will drop below these lows, this grabber will be erased. But at the same time, we have this grabber, and this grabber is still valid, but this grabber is just taken out of these lows. That's the major, actually, I would say, tricky moment on the weekly chart. Of course, everything can happen. Not every grabber reaching the target, but still that's actually what we have on Bitcoin market on weekly chart. But this is not only about the grabber. Just consider the performance, guys, here. So recall what we talked about, the structure of the swings and so on. Just to not speak about the same thing again, I will tell just about the most recent stuff. This has to be the continuation of this one and this one. And if market fails to proceed higher than the XLP, especially when it's forming continuation pattern, which is a flag here, but instead of that drop down, as you understand, that's easily could lead price back to the lows, because that will be the crush of the normal structure of the market swings. So it will not be absolutely, it will be absolutely irrational from the structure of the swings here and from the market mechanics. It should not happen. In a normal situation, this should not happen. It will tell us that something is unnormal. So what will trigger this action? Who knows? But currently situation looks really thrilling. So what will happen with this grabber? That's the first point. Second point, if you'll take a look at the daily chart, here, of course, we do not have any patterns yet that could tell us that market should reach these lows, right? And erase all the rally. But at least we have great bearish engulfing, which we already considered a few times, and we're still watching for a BCD pattern. Why not? So I do not see any reasons why we should deny this strategy and refuse this scenario. So because everything looks bearish here, we do not have any grabbers, but we have bearish trend and we have bearish pattern. This grabber is already completed. So from that standpoint of view, we're still watching for a downward extension in the way of some ABCD pattern. And here are some signs exist that, for example, take a look at market starts forming the consolidation near the lows, right upon the lows. It has failed, return right back up above this trend line. So this market is trying to show this pullback, showing forming this retracement, but has failed to return back. So actually we talked about this last time, and actually this was our hand and shoulders, if you remember, that we have discussed. It's hourly chart. So this market actually has completed just the ABCD, but failed to return back above this top. above the trend line that I have shown you on the daily, and return it back down. Now you can see this minor pennant consolidation that is forming. This is potentially bearish pattern. So in everything, if everything will happen as we suggest, so take a look on the fall time frame chart. That's approximately what we are watching for. Here, market right now stands around the first level, but it already has been penetrated a few times. Next support stands 2860, 2915 area. It's relatively wide confluence, but the OP based on this engulfing on daily chart stands around 28. So it means that, well, somewhere at 2850 it should be the most probable destination point with a possible downward action. How market will perform around this level is difficult to say right now, just because you need to see what the performance will be. One story, if we will get just miserable plunge here to the downside, in this case I would say that we could reach not only OP but XOP around 2660 as well, and at least 2750. It's 618 level. But if it will be relatively gradual action, that might be just in the reaching of the confluence. It's also possible. Analysis of the rectangle breakout, the sideways channel breakout, suggests in this classical approach that the target should be equal to the height of this range. So if you count it to the downside, it points approximately to the 2750. So that's actually the target cluster that we suggest in the case of this ABCD performance. Somewhere starting from the 2850 and down to probably 2750. So that's the area where market theoretically right around the OP that market could reach. So at the current moment, I do not see any reasons why we should ignore this scenario, and because we don't have any opposite signs that market is turning up and turning back to the bullish performance. I would say that. So let's keep watching, and if you consider and think about the taking a long position, personally I would prefer to wait with this initiative and just see what will happen. Bears theoretically could consider probable trying to making bet on daily engulfing pattern that we have right there. So you could try to catch some retracement maybe here or something of that sort, because if you haven't taken position right at the C point when we have suggested to do this. Because this week, as you know, we will have a lot of statistics. It will be advanced numbers on the gross domestic product, Feds, everybody knows about that, and then we will get some components of the gross domestic product as retail sales and so on. So personal consumption expenditures numbers. So it will be really significant week in terms of statistics, and volatility really could increase. That's why let's keep watching, but currently in the short term we still keep our bearish view.